Seriously? Like, for real. It's this time of the year again. It's become a meme at this point. Do not touch kids. I don't know how to make it clearer than that. What the fuck is this shit, man? Like, again? Seriously? But yeah, on a serious note, Rezoa, aka Himejoshi, who is a tournament player and also former OWC 2024 staff, got exposed for allegedly grooming a 15-year-old when he was 18. The source for this is a Trust Me Bro from Kiara, who's allegedly the victim in this situation. She posted a 20-page long Google Doc with a bunch of screenshots of her and Rezoa talking to each other, being just cringy teenagers as they usually are, and him saying weird, questionable things that we're gonna get to later. The document starts with her saying that when she was 15 years old, she dated Rezoa, who at the time was 18 years old. It so happened that he was her first partner and she was also in a bad spot in life, which is what led to all of this happening. They first met on the Gyan Temple Discord, and she knew him as just a tournament player. After talking for a few weeks, she started sometimes comforting him, like friends usually do, and he led her into his private Twitter where he was posting emo tweets, and all of this somehow led to them dating. Keep in mind that some of this is in German, but I'm going to translate that for you. Of course, we're not going to go through all 20 pages because I value your sanity. And if you feel like going through them on your own, I'm going to leave a link to this doc in the description below. So it kind of starts with them deciding which language they're going to use, because Kiara said that it was hard for her to express her feelings in German, which is why they later switched to English. And then Rizal started sending these kinds of memes, which Kiara calls cutesy, but in my opinion, it's not something you would send to a friend, it's more like something you would send to your significant other. Then Kiara invited him to eat ramen together, which seems like their first date in this case. And here she says that she also ended up being flirtatious because she was an affection-starved 15-year-old who felt appreciated for the first time. And this is also the reason why she ended up falling in love with him. Which is kind of interesting because from this it looks like she was the one to start any advances. And you might say that, oh, she just didn't include what happened before. But I feel like if you're coming out with allegations like these, you would want everything documented, even if you don't think it's relevant. But in this case, it is relevant. Because now it looks like she started it instead of him, which kind of paints her in a bad light, but we're just gonna let it slide for now. But then the next screenshot is, yeah, I don't even think I need to translate this one for you. He basically starts, I guess, flirting with her in this weird kind of way, which I don't really think qualifies as flirting. It's more just like being creepy. But okay, let's just move on. Fast forward a few days, they actually started dating, and there was a lot of sexualization going on, and she says that it was like actually bad. And yeah, if you read this, it is actually bad. I'm not even gonna read it, you can read it for yourself. But this is basically the entire of this document. It's just him saying like some weird ass fucked up shit that you should never ever say to anyone, especially not to someone who's a minor and who's 3 years younger than you. But yeah, it just continues with him saying that she makes him horny and stuff, how he jerked off to her, and also he occasionally sent her hentai and porn, occasionally lolly hentai, saying things like us and stuff. Of course, she can't share it because of Google guidelines, because this doc would have been deleted otherwise. And as far as I can see, Kiara was only responding to what he was saying, and only occasionally wrote something sexual as well, but that happened like only a few times here. So as I'm looking at this, it looks like he's a complete degenerate and she should run away. But even from this conversation, it looks like she's really uncomfortable with what's happening, but she just didn't stop it at any point. I don't know if that was really the case, because again, it was her first relationship, so she probably didn't think it was weird in any way. And to make it even worse, apparently Rizal was cheating on his girlfriend, with Kiara in this case, and that is the end of this document. So, a few things. First of all, I know that there will be two types of people. There is always two types of people because everything is a debate nowadays. But there will be people who will be supporting him and victim blaming Kiara, and there will be people who will support Kiara and hate on Rezoa unconditionally because this is just plain weird. But then you also have to remember that we don't have the full story. These are just the screenshots that Kiara herself shared, and there might be more context to some of this, even though I know that doesn't help. But to me, it just looks suspicious that he's just saying all of this stuff and she's just responding with like one-word answers or like one-sentence answers, and he just continues. I mean, maybe it's just him being weird, but I feel like there is more context to this, or like her saying similar stuff in some other screenshots, which we can't see here. Because like even here you see this one was sent at 12:14 a.m. and this one was sent at 12:24 a.m. And we don't know what happened in those 10 minutes. Another thing to take into account is that, well, yes, 3 years difference is not a big difference. There are many married people in their 40s and 50s with age differences of even 10 years or more. But at this age range, this is a bit too much. Mostly because she is still a child and he is an adult already. And it's not per se illegal because the age of consent in Germany is 14, so he probably wouldn't get in trouble even if they did meet, which thank God they didn't, because I don't know what he could have done if they did. But it's like that one meme. Regardless of the law, you should have a moral obligation not to fuck children, or something along those lines. And I think that applies perfectly in this case. So yeah, well, the answer to who is wrong in this situation is pretty much obvious, because no matter the circumstances, Rizal should never talk to a minor like that, for which I hope he actually gets punished. Whether that be getting cancelled on Twitter or some legal repercussions, I think this is something that shouldn't be let go with a warning. But I also think that Kiara is also not completely innocent in this case, because even from reading this, it is unclear what her intentions were. Did she just randomly remember this and wanted to actually expose him to protect others? Or is she just looking for some internet points to gain? Like hell, for all we know, she could have just been blackmailing the guy for the last I don't know how many years, right? I don't know if Rizal is gonna make a response to this. Maybe he will, or maybe he will just accept that he will be forever labeled as a pedo on the internet. And also, just on a side note, I feel like both of them should know better than to do shit like this. Being 15 years old means you should already know to not play into shit like this. And being 18 years old, you should know better than to talk to anyone like this, especially to minors. So yeah, I think that both of them are kind of at fault, but then since Rizal should be the adult in this situation, like 90% of the blame I put on him. But if you think otherwise, you may think however you want. I'm just here spitting theories and facts, so don't quote me on any of this. But yeah, that's about it for another grooming accusation, which at this point I feel like I should just make a playlist and start labeling the episodes one by one. Like seriously bro, why does it always have to be the OSU community? Do we really have so many weirdos? Anyway, that's about it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye!